concern?
Howard, what could you have done?
Deeper shots, they just haven't quite connected.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're just not quite on the same page at times. I don't know. We got to go back and look at it. I don't want to make a blanket statement right now. Definitely not an emotional blanket statement. So I'll just withhold that and maybe talk about it on Wednesday a little bit if you get back and get some sleep, Rob, and remember that question.
Jair was just saying he's not concerned about the defense yet, but he will be if you guys lose next week. Are you concerned about the offense yet?
No.
Why not?
And frankly, I don't like all this conversation about losing next week. I'm a firm believer in the power of words and manifestation, and we got to check ourselves on that, because talking about that is that's not winning football. There was conversation about it in the locker room, and I don't like it. And Josh's my guy, but we don't need to be talking like that. I understand there's a reality in this game, but there's a win and a loss every single game. But there's also reality in life that you what you're putting your energy towards, that's where your focus is going to go. So I'm not going to address prospects of losing up here, other than we just lost this game. Offensively, we haven't put two halves together. There's a lot that factors into that. Everything from calls to execution, to the momentum, to defensive stops, to adjustments that we make that are good or shouldn't make. But it's a lot of execution. And there's games like this where our defense is not going to be up to their normal standards, and we got to pick them up. We had chances, a lot of chances. So definitely the offense. This one will weigh heavy on us on this flight back.
How many back rooms compared to the last couple runs you've made deep in the playoffs?
Yeah, I feel better at 4-1 for sure. We get to handle adversity a little bit better. We're a little bit of a roller coaster team at times. Our best teams have been a little bit more steady. So we got to find that rhythm and that steadiness. We got to get back and get healthy and get rested. We got a home game that we'll probably be favored in against the Jets. And we got to go back and refocus. The biggest issue, and it's, again, I wish I had this, the perfect answer or explanation of this, but we haven't played consistent football in all three phases. And the margin of error for us in winning is small. So we have to make those plays, especially when you're playing against a good football team. And the Giants are a good football team. They're 4-1. We have to make the throws I got to make the throws that are necessary. We got to come up with the catches. We got to run the ball. We got to force some turnovers on teams or on defense. When you get the opportunities, we got to make those plays, because we're not sharp enough yet to have a wider margin of error.
Aaron, on the look back to the new fan base, I mean, you guys seem to have synergy with your.
Well, first of all, we're sorry. We wanted to come here and put on a show and win a football game. The crowd was outstanding. I mean, this was just a fantastic experience, I think, for all of us. There's guys in that locker room that never been across the pond, and just the hospitality from the fans when we were out. Me and Alan on Friday was outstanding. The crowd response today, taking the field, was incredible. Seeing the different flags from different countries was amazing. The fans were loud the entire time. It was outstanding, and so much love for Packer world. I think we can say that now. It's been Packer Nation for the first 100 and couple years, and hopefully the team will get a chance to come back and play here again, because it was a special week for all of us, one that we'll never forget. Well, obviously, it would have been a little sweeter with a win, but big loads of gratitude on behalf of our team for the fans and the people of London and the folks at the Grove who were outstanding. The food was just incredible, and the hospitality was first rate. So big thanks to our European fans, and hopefully we'll be back.
How do you feel, Aaron, about the team after 5 games?
I don't know. I had pretty high expectations, I think. But I would say the response definitely surpassed the expectation. I felt like there was going to be more Packer fans, but it was incredible. I mean, with some of the noises, and chants, and little ditties that they played during the game. It felt like a home game. They played Roll Out the Barrel, which I don't think many European fans know what the hell that is, but it's a silly song we play at Lambeau all the time. But
Sing it in English.
yeah, okay, perfect. But that surprised me in a beautiful way. So again, big thanks to the fans. That was an incredible experience, and apologies for the disjointed performance, but I think we're all going to remember this for a long time. And even though it was a loss, it was a great experience.
There's been a lot of talk about OBJ recently. Do you think Green Bay would?
Putting that complete performance together that you were talking about.
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough question. The cliche answer would be really close, but the actual answer is unknown, honestly. There's a standard that we've played at for a long time, and just because the faces change doesn't mean the standard changes. That's a hard concept, I think, to grasp at times, but we hold ourselves to a really high standard. I hold myself to a high standard, and we're just not quite there yet. So I trust Matt and the staff and the conversations we'll have this week that we'll clean some things up, but this team is, we're 5 weeks in, and there's a lot of football left. Can't squander any more games like this, though, because the NFC is going to be pretty tough. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Preston Smith will be coming for you next.
Well, obviously, this is as disappointing as it gets for us. Give New York all the credit. They outcoached us. They outplayed us. They definitely wanted it more, and it was the tale of two halves. And they kicked our butt in the second half, and you can't do that in this league. So, we just got to regroup. Everybody's got to look in the mirror and ask themselves what they can do better, because it was a collective effort right there in terms of not being able to come out on top.
Coach, how did it get away from you from 17-3 up? What specifically happened?
They kept playing. Give New York a ton of credit. And I don't think the mindset for our guys was ever to let up, but certainly, you look at the results out there. There was too many mistakes, and it wasn't just one person. It was a collective effort, like I talked about. It starts with myself. I got to be better. I got to be better for this team. We got to demand that we get better in certain areas, and then it's just disappointing.
2 years, Matt. How do you feel about the team this year? So the record was great.
Well, certainly there's been a lot of struggles, and that is this league, and we just got to be more consistent, because there's some moments where we look pretty good, but we have yet to put together a complete game as a team. It's like every game has been one good half, and that's not good enough in this league. You gotta play every play like it's your last, and if you don't, you get your ass whipped.
So on the game.
Questions for Preston?
We just gotta be critical when we watch the film on this flight and this week, and we gotta see what mistakes we made, make sure we fix them, and make sure they don't get repeated for this next upcoming game against the Jets. We're a team that's resilient. We come together pretty well on defense, and we know how good we can be and how great we need to play in order to look like who we are. And we feel like tonight we didn't play up to our potential. It's a lot of mistakes we made, a lot of things we could have did better, a lot of plays we wish we had back, but, the result is the result. And we just got to make sure that we're critical of ourselves when we watch the film, and that we're critical of the mistakes we made, and make sure that we fix those mistakes and move forward with a positive attitude and an attitude that we're going to attack next week, and make sure that we don't make those mistakes again and give up any big plays.
So what changed